Ringing up Graeme Kenna, the City Solicitor for Bradford.
This is the voicemail of Graeme Kenna from the Legal Department for Adult Services in Bradford Council. Please leave a message and I will get back to you.
After you've finished your message, just hang up, or to hear more options, please press 1.
Yes, hello Mr. Kenna, it's Mr. Hussain here, once again leaving yourself a daily voice message asking you, the local authority and the council, to engage with me, to let me know where my brother is. You've taken my brother, you've abducted him, you've kidnapped him from my care, and are now holding him detained. I do not know under what circumstances. I have no idea what kind of health he's in, what kind of what kind of condition you've kept him in. Obviously, the detention and care that you're now providing my brother is clearly unlawful. There is no legal justification for it. I've gone over this over and over again. It's now been 81 days that I have been trying to find out just about where my brother is. You have done a malicious act as a local authority, kidnapped my brother, arrested me from my home in the garden, not even coming into my house, from the garden of my house. The police have then been instructed to arrest me unjustifiably. I've obviously know that the arrest was not justified. I was cooperating with I was clearly cooperating with the police at the time, because what you were looking to do was you were looking to antagonize me in order for me to kick off to justify your arrest. I saw through what you were trying to do, and I didn't participate in your antagonism towards me or react to your antagonism towards me. And then subsequently I was arrested anyway because it was not working, and you did not get a translator along. This was a psyops. This was a predetermined operation that you came down on the day, because obviously the ideal person to have come down would have been Christopher Browell with his manager Mohammed Fayaz, whom does speak the language. You came down with a clear intention to abduct my brother, because less than 24 hours before, I told this Circuit Judge Gosnell that I'm going to now give you the evidence that you require in order to show that judicial fraud is taking place. And as a consequence of that, and as a consequence, no doubt, of my case dismissal application on the 1st of August, this was becoming a very desperate situation for you people, because you had realized that there was a probability that the capacity assessment wouldn't be carried out. So in order to do this capacity assessment, now you've gone to such extreme lengths to have kidnapped my brother, force him into your care and custody without providing us with any information. I've now made it quite clear to you, and I'll just continue to repeat myself like a broken record, because you people are just simply refusing to engage with me. What is the legal basis of you refusing to engage with me? Oh, we've got a vexatious complainant policy in place to restrict your communications. You know that's complete and utter rubbish. You can't restrict my communications while being servants. You're forcing council tax upon me when you know I cannot afford to pay the council tax, and I would be entitled to a rebate on the council tax or remission on the council tax. You've deliberately doing all this stuff in order to justify your own. You've just basically got caught with your trousers down, haven't you? All of the Bradford Council. You've been exposed for your failures, and the only last resort that you have is to use your power and authority against me as a lonely carer. The legal system does not favour you; it favours me as the civilian. It's not favouring you. It's not there to design to favour the officers, so you can have a privileged elitist position over me. My brother has rights. I have rights that are being violated through your failure and neglectful and negligence in order to communicate with me. You can just simply pick up the phone and speak with me or answer my calls. You can write to me via email. You have my email address. You can write out to me through the post. You're not doing any of this stuff. You're refusing to send any written correspondence to me, whether through the post or through email. You're refusing to engage with me on the telephone. You're simply denying us communication, and at the same time you're going to all my relatives telling them not to engage with me, leave me isolated and alone, psychologically torturing me in this manner by not providing us with some basic information regarding my brother's whereabouts. I continue to be my brother. He still continues to be my brother, not your brother. I continue to be his nearest relative. You are not the nearest relative. You tried to take this matter to the courts through Vicina Brown in 2018, and that all failed subsequently. You've had me arrested, taken away all my money. You've murdered my mother. You murdered my brother. You murdered my father. All murder. And this, it's not me. Oh, Mr. Hussain's just using these words, all right? It's not. It's quite clearly premeditated murder because because you have a financial incentive to murder these elderly and vulnerable people. Because so, and what's the motive? What's the motive? It's because you are struggling to pay the finances. It's financial motive to save on care costs. So in order to save on care costs, you're killing my family members off. So that's the motive. What's the means? The means is through buying off the judges and the judiciary and buying off the police and everybody else. Means, motive, and opportunity. Well, obviously there's been plenty of opportunity for you to carry out these murders, and the opportunity arises because as soon as I'm about to whistleblow, you do something, or as soon as I look to go public, you look to do something that obviously prevents me from doing so. You've held me incarcerated now when I looked to initially whistleblow in 2013, over 10 years ago. So these are your opportunities that you're taking. You're taking these opportunities. So whenever I do something lawful and legal, like get my mother or my brother lasting power of attorney, that's an opportunity that you can exploit to buy off the judges and railroad everything and twist everything and negate everything to your advantage. So you've had plenty of opportunities over the time period, the last 10 years. So there's been so I can now more than definitely prove means, motive, and opportunity for you to have murdered my family members, and that's all I need to prove, that you've had these means, motive, and opportunity, and have greatly been financially advantageous and profiteering as a consequence of having murdered my family members, and that primary advantage comes from saving on care costs. You know it. I'm trying to engage with you. I represent these people. They're my trust beneficiaries. I own and operate in a trust, which you're fully aware of now. You've been aware of this in 2013 and 14, which I alluded to then. You simply disregard it. It does not stop becoming a legal instrument simply because you can buy off the judges to negate something. It's like a power of attorney. It's there, and you believe that you can buy off the office of the public guardian to negate these new laws that you've created. But traditionally speaking, these are still legally defined instruments that you cannot just destroy. And as a consequence of looking to destroy legal and lawful instruments, there will be consequences. Right now, my priority is my brother, and to know that he's safe and well, and that he should be returned back into my care. He should be returned back into my care as he did last time, because this situation is simply inconceivable, and that you are acting totally as the sole arbitrator over my brother's life right now, having full control of his finances, having full control of his choices. All right, my brother, you've changed his home address to wherever he is now. That's a permanent arrangement now that you put in place.
You're approaching the maximum allowed time for recording a message. If you wish to record further, please choose the append option from the menu. If you've finished recording, just hang up. If you don't carry on recording or hang up, your message will be deleted. To listen to your message, press 1. Please record the rest of your message after the tone. When you've finished recording, press the hash key.
Okay, as I was saying, you've taken my brother from his home. You've not have no legal right to do so. You've now controlling his finances, which you've unlawfully taken control of through removing my appointeeship unlawfully, and also buying off District Judge Beckley to authorize you to be his financial deputy. Subsequently, now you've changed his home address after kidnapping him. You're giving him medication that you have no legal authority to give that medication to him. You're refusing him his right to refuse, which he's done on numerous occasions. He said no. He's quite clearly articulated, no, I don't want to. That is enough capacity to refuse, a right to refuse. You're forcing him into a situation that's endangering his life, and you're saying that we're acting in his best interest after you yourself creating the crisis in order to justify your.
But you've reached the maximum time available for recording your message. To listen to your message, press 1. Message sent. Goodbye.
Yeah, so they create the problem, anticipate the reaction, and then provide the solution that's in their best interest. My brother was taken from here, and I will never stop leaving them a message and publicizing this, because they've done something unlawful. After having done something unlawful previously, I would have been equally vehement and publicizing the situation that my mother was left in for the last 334 days of her life. But I couldn't do so because these people, these manipulative, malevolent, villainous people had put in a a court order injunction preventing me from publicising that my mother's life was going to be endangered. And so they basically got a gag order in place preventing me from exposing their corruption, then exposing my mother's name. I couldn't even mention my mother's name, and the local authority that had done this to me, they had a gag order in place, but this time they can't do the same thing this time. My mother's name was Fateh Begum of 20 Primary Way. The local authority, after having unlawfully criminally convicted me of defrauding her money, was then going to the court, and subsequently my mother giving me her lasting power of attorney in 2018. They subsequently bought off everybody, the judges, the solicitors, the barristers, and basically forced me out of the house, and forced both me and my brother out of the house, and then murdered our mother off by forcefully giving her a COVID vaccine without our authority, through the purchasing of Justice Cobb and Justice Cohen. And now all of a sudden they're doing the same thing again. My brother's name is Talib Hussain. He's been kidnapped for the last 81 days. The council are refusing to tell me where he is or what kind of health condition he's in. They've unlawfully arrested me. That was unjustifiable. I've recorded everything. I've documented everything. I'm ringing them up every single day to say, look, just tell me, engage with me, just tell me, because when you wanted to know something, I always engaged with you. I always told you information. I always advised you that these are my care costs. I was never ever in a situation or allowed to not engage with them, because anytime I did not engage with them, they would simply come around with the police saying we're doing a welfare check and break down our doors. So anytime that I would not engage with them, they would threaten me with the police. And now when the rules and when the situation is now turned and they've got my brother and kidnapped him, and I'm just simply asking about his health and welfare, I've got concerns about his safeguarding, and they're simply ignoring me, saying that I don't have the privilege of going to the police and going to their offices and knocking down their doors, because the police don't work for me. The police work for the council. They get paid by the council, and the council's little puppet. They'll do as the council tells them to do. And as a consequence, me and my brother are suffering right now. We're in this limbo land, and I continue to leave messages to the most senior person I know, the city solicitor, who refuses to engage with me. Absolutely ridiculous.